Yeah, I didn't have much homework.
Okay.
I didn't have much work to do.
Did you study for those tests?
Yeah, I studied for the science test, which is gonna talk about what?
Nope. I'm just getting my stream set up.
Wait,
What's happening, everybody? Yeah. You already know. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Cleaning off the bird. I had so much going on today. A couple of things I'll clarify with y'all a little bit later, but I was doing so much. And then I was like, should I wait, clean off my board before I start with y'all? I said no, because I was already starting late. And you know what's so funny? This was like the one time where I was about to start on time, and literally, it's always something. Right as I was getting on this, I was getting ready to start at 4:30. My camera, my phone camera just, excuse me, wasn't connecting to OBS. Excuse me. Okay. And here we go. I'm live everywhere. I'm live on the gram as well. What else am I thinking? God, I haven't done one of these comedy streams in way too long. Plus, I've been moving my monitor around some different places to see where I could possibly fit it, where everything will go, where everything will fit together. And that is a bit of a challenge. But I like what I got right now. I'm not going to show. Oh, that's what I was thinking about. Recording. Start recording. Start recording. What's happening every. Oh. Take that out. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Hannibal Callens. We are finally back in the Laforatory, the lab for the laughs. Now, here's the thing. Alrighty, I know what y'all are wondering. What could be going on that would forced me to call upon my beautiful, gorgeous laugh rats. Well, I'm glad you asked, mate, because we've got the funniest comedian in the Valley competition. The semifinals are tonight. Your boy got in. Sweet. Last year we got to the finals. I'm hoping to at least get that far this year too. But tonight we doing 5. Now we're doing. I realize I'm pretty bad on camera at putting my hand in my face because I talk with my hands, but I'll go like 5, and I was like, I need to practice doing it like this so it doesn't block my face. Am I doing too much? Tell me if I'm doing too much. I feel like I'm not, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm not sorry. He's losing it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did any of that. I just thought that was funny. My bad, team. Also, normally I have my monitor like right under where my phone is, but right now I'm testing putting my monitor like next to my TV so that when I'm gaming I can see my chats faster. So y'all are gonna see me kind of playing a little bit this awkward angle because my phone is here and my monitor's there. So if I'm checking how I'm looking, I gotta go. I'm looking over there for it. Feels weird, but hey. It's not the worst we've had. Is it, mates? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it right is. So, we got a few things we can talk about because I was gone for a good bit. Haven't done the Laforatory in a while, but I just got back from the Shelter Cove Comedy Festival. That was a really cool experience. Got to do comedy, plus a buddy of mine from high school. He started doing comedy a couple years ago, and he was the one that he got into the festival and told me, hey man, you should apply for this festival, because him and his buddy were going. I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna apply for the festival. Got in, and I went with them too. There's a lot of people that I meet who I think, as the ancient Egyptians would have said, got the juice, right? People who got the juice and could be really good at comedy. My homeboy Alex Malunchnik was one of them people. When I started doing comedy at the poetry mics, and he had moved back to Florida after moving away, he was coming with me to go to Diverse Words sometimes, and I was telling him, dude, you should do this. And he didn't. Then he after a while he started doing comedy, and he's doing really, really well. And I'm really proud of him, dude. Like, I mean, he's been telling me he's been opening for big people in Ohio. He even has a show that he runs in Ohio. He begged me to come out there and do a show and be on his show and headline it, which I did, which was awesome. And it's a whole nother thing getting to see him perform several of these nights, and I'm like, oh. And I thought he was good, but I'm seeing my boy, and I'm like, my man's cooking. My man is cooking up there. You know what I mean? So it makes me happy that, I pushed him to, I was like, you got it. I told him he got the juice. There's one other person who I remember telling they had the juice. There's two. There was a dude I used to work with at Publix, and then another guy, one of my best friends to this day, who I think should do comedy. Anyway, shut up. Not you, me. We don't got to talk about the Shelter Cove Comedy Festival. What's up, Duke? I see Duke's in the building. Duke in the building. Ah! Okay. Now, it's time we hit the actual lab work, everybody. Hold on. Nice. Is it too low? Can you see the flow? Nope. Perfect. You can see my nightstand, but who cares? Nightstand ain't hurting nobody. Now, y'all might be wondering, Hannibal, why'd you do such a thing? Well, because we're going to write out our sit here. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if y'all remember, okay? Can I wheel up closer? My room is carpet, but I feel like if it was hardwood, this would be way better. It'd be easier to wheel this chair around without me needing to have the strength of Zeus. Anyway, I'm checking my audio to see, because I think I'm a little too quiet. Am I a little too quiet? Let me know if I'm too quiet. This is funny because, like, where my mic is perfect for my angle, but now my monitor isn't. So when I'm trying to look at what I look like, I'm like, oh, okay, great. But then I turn this way, I can't see that. I'm sorry. Stick with me, guys. Who we got? I'm trying to ride to the competition tonight. What part of AZ you in? Great question, Rudy. I am in Desert Foothills. I shouldn't have said that. Dang it! Dang it, I shouldn't have said where I live. Now Mossad gonna be all... Dang it. Oh, man. That's what I get for being too nice. Why you ask me that? Rudy, huh? You a Fed? You a Fed, ain't you? Knew it. I should have knowed. Should have knewed. You was a Fed. Trying to find my super secret location in a gated community. He'll never get through our state-of-the-art security. Gregory! like some dude named Gregory. DM me, Rudy, if you're looking for, if you're trying to see if we can make a, if we maybe carpool or something. Just DM me, cause I don't know. Depends on where you at. Kind of far from everything. What are we working on? A 5-minute set, right, Rudy? Pretty sure it's 5 for tonight. Because. But now, here's the thing. Remember how we do it, guys. 5 minutes. So what does that mean? We're going to write 4 minutes and 30 seconds of material. That way we've got 30 seconds of laugh time. And that also gives us a little Wu-Tang room. You know, because that way it doesn't have to be back to back to back to back to back to back to back. There's room for people to laugh and to play a little bit. All right? So, here we go. It's easier if I'm not going to be able to write and show it to you guys. My setup ain't that hot. So, we got funniest comedian in the Valley, 5 minutes. Okay. Now, we always start my stuff, I start my stuff off the same way every time, right? Because I've worked really hard on that, and I know that my set, I started really strong. So we know what we're doing. We're going to start with, excuse me. We're going to start with surprise. Then we're going to go into Urkel. Now, we're not going to stress too much about this set because this is pretty standard stuff. Like, I already pretty much know what's going to be in here. It's just a matter of running it more so. And I want to see what you guys think because almost like a choose your own adventure, there's a part in the set where I can go 2 different directions. But I think the best thing to do, I know the direction that I want to go. It's going to be my really good, very strong, my usual 5. Which I have written somewhere. If y'all want me to, I'll dig in my book and see if I can find the last time I wrote out a 5. But the funny thing about comedy is, like, when you start out, you're literally spending, like, everything is 5 minutes. Or whatever your city's normal mic amount is. That is something that I did realize. In Orlando, your standard open mic is 5 minutes. Like, that is the standard. But then I realized that other cities, the standard is 4. I think it's like that in Atlanta. I went to Atlanta years and years ago, but I think when I went to Atlanta, most of the mics were 4 minutes, which was like nuts to me. And it's one of the things where you don't realize how privileged you are until you go to another place. Like, I'm like, good heavens, 4 minutes for an open mic at a coffee shop. Goodness gracious, this is not Mom Donnie's New York. You know, so anyway, come on. We're not going to worry too much about this. Like I said, standard affair. Okay? We're going to do surprise. We're going to do Urkel. We're going to do unemployed. We might do glasses. We might do glasses. We might skip it. I think glasses is typically when I skip unless I need, like, you know, unless I have more time. Like, if I'm making cuts, Because unemployed hits, like, I think that unemployed joke hits enough that it just counts as a 100. If that joke doesn't land, it's because I did something wrong, or it's because there's something wrong with the room. Like, maybe I'm performing for the Klan, whatever. But that joke is a guaranteed hitter. I think glasses is now a guaranteed hitter as well. It just takes time to set up, and so if I'm in a pinch, that one can go. I'm getting a little distracted. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to write the set out. Then we're going to break down the pieces. How about that? That way we stay focused. Okay? So we're going to do unemployed. Then we're going to do X. Cool. Now I believe all of that is about a minute and then 30. I think that's what that comes out to. A minute 30 or 2 minutes, I think, is all that. I'm thinking, because I haven't done a 5 in a long time. So I am going to need to try to go back and look and see what I wrote previously. One thing that happens to me, which is funny, for some reason, my brain, when I'm writing a set, my brain immediately panics, and like I have to go back to my previous. I'm always going through my notebook to look at the last time I did a set of that size, and I'm like copying, and I'm like, why am I copying my own homework? I'm the one who made the jokes. They're my jokes. You know what I mean? Anyway, feeling a little tired. Let me check all my messages. Oh, I forgot to check. Make sure my chat was linked. No! Hold on. Looks like my YouTube chats aren't connected for some reason. Dang it. So that means people probably saying stuff on YouTube. I don't know why that is. Like, sometimes my YouTube just isn't connected to my OBS, and it always does it like this too. It sneaks it on me. Oh, hey, good. There we go. Takes me right to it. Excuse me. Dang it, of course. See, now that's so funny. I have the message on my thing that says that YouTube is connected. Anyway, y'all don't care about that. Well, not that y'all don't care, but it's not relevant. I don't need to be distracting y'all with that. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of thinking. Okay, fine. So, now that we're back, we're locked in. I got all my chats active so I can see them. Then it sort of hurts my feelings that there's nobody in them in YouTube. Normally, YouTube and Instagram is where I actually get people to respond. So don't you ever get it twisted. I appreciate the heck out of y'all's. Which one of y'all? Which one of y'all? Where is this mouse? What the heck? Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm back. I think I'm underthinking this. This is why we run. This is why we run material. Then I got grenade, which is peanut. And we got grab somebody. Okay. That doesn't feel like that's enough. Now here's the thing. Okay. I think that first part is about a minute to a minute and a half, which means I probably include glasses, right? And then my brain is telling me that this needs more. This might need maybe one more bit. Or I go in, well, nah, because the white slavery and Juneteenth stuff, that takes way too long for a 5 minute. That's why I don't even play with it. If I'm doing a competition and it's 5 minutes, I don't even play with that. It's great. It just takes too long for that little amount of time. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run this what we have. Then we'll see where we're at. My brain is okay, so we're definitely gonna do glasses with this setup here. This seems like very little, but I am gonna do all the grenade. I am gonna do all of that. So I think it will come out pretty good. Can you read that? Put it back there. Keeping the G ain't nothing. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood gonna love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood gonna love it. Watch a young show his ass out in public. Hey, I got the whole crowd, but you ain't gotta like it cause the hood gonna love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood gonna love it. Sorry, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Alrighty, we're gonna run this set, but first I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Never mind. Evitt. Oh, dang it. Okay, I want to leave the house about 6:20. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood gonna love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood gonna love it. We're gonna skip the bathroom for now. I need to get to it. So here we go. Okay. Stretch. All right. Here's going to be the goal too. I'm just saying this for myself. Right now when I run it, my goal is to shoot for 4 minutes and 30 seconds of jokes. Bar for bar, band for band. Right? Bar for bar, band for band, jokes, jokes, jokes. So I'm going to try to limit, I'm going to try to not pause for laughter and limit any of my unnecessary pauses. Because I want to get 4 minutes and 30 seconds of raw material. Then we'll have room to let the laughs fill in that last 30 seconds. You know. Okay. Do I look good with this? No. It blows me out if I come up here. Probably not, but anyway, it's not. Yeah, whatever. Come on! Aiming for 3 minutes. Aiming for 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay. And we got the lineup right here, what we're going to do. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your next comedian, Hannibal Collins. What's happening, everybody? I'm Hannibal Collins. I just turned 31, and right now I am in love. Thank you. I'm surprised too. Because who's falling in love with Steve Urkel after he joins the Black Panther Party? I'm the only brother right between did I do that and the white man did that. Oh, man. I'm lucky to be in love. Me and my fiance have been together for 8 years. In that time, I've learned some valuable lessons, like being in a relationship is just like buying a house. If you didn't do it in 2008, it's too late. Because you can't get any good advice no more, man. I had a buddy tell me, yo, Hannibal, don't ever date a woman that makes more money than you do. Craziest thing I ever heard from a brother on food stamps. In fact, one time, this lady told me, you should stop wearing your glasses, because you'd look cuter without them. Maybe she don't know how these work. A newsflash, people, these are not designer. This is a disability. And nobody should give advice and be like, hey, man, you know you get way more girls if you would just ditch the wheelchair. Man, I also learned that sometimes people break up with you, but you still grow. If y'all had that, yeah, you hear how quiet everybody else got? My therapist calls that depression. For me, I learned that lesson the hard way, man. My ex broke up with me because she said I'm the type of man you get married to. Y'all ever get fired from your job because you were good at it? I never met someone who said, hey, yo, McDonald's had to fire me. I had the ice cream machine working every day. Yeah. And I've realized that now that I am in love, I can't stand love songs anymore, man. Lyrics ridiculous. Bruno Mars got a song where he says, I'll catch a grenade for you. What? Dude, I'm the only man I know too scared to walk himself to the car at night. Like, if you see me walking past 6:30, you better know I keep a pocket full of peanuts. Because if somebody else gonna rob me, I pray to God he has an allergy. Give me all your money, fool. Ah! Come on, a grenade, man. If me and my girl go to the park and someone throws a grenade at us, on the off chance that day, I think I'm Serena Williams and I hit it back. Someone with the audacity to bring one grenade to the park probably has the future planning to bring two. And the worst one of all time. Man, Pitbull has a song where the chorus goes, grab somebody sexy, tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. For all we know, we might not get tomorrow. Let's do this tonight. Yo, I heard that song and I was like, hey, Pitbull, if I follow your instructions, you just told me to grab somebody sexy and tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. For all we know, we ain't gonna get tomorrow. So let's do this tonight. Time. We're gonna call it because, check it out. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. We're at 3:45. I was correct. This is too short. I knew it. I knew this was too short. And you know why? You know what's missing? Baghdad. Normally I would do Baghdad. That's what it is. And a little bit of inside baseball. Baghdad's one of my favorite jokes. Why don't I do it sometimes? Number one, it's because you're doing a 5-minute set. You got to do your hitters. You got to do all your guaranteed hitters. Now, but Baghdad doesn't ever not hit. That's another thing. I got to give myself credit for that joke. That's a joke that, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the last time that joke didn't work. You know what I mean? But the thing is, y'all might see I don't do it sometimes. You know why I don't do it? There's a little bit of smart here. Joe Lowers, president of the World Series of Comedy, he don't like that joke. He think, and it's funny. He said he feels like that joke is fake. He can tell. He's like, he can tell, and he's like, the rest of your material is so clearly like authentic. I can tell that's like a. He's like, you sat down and you wrote that one, right? I said, yeah. In fact, the reason why that joke is special to me, he even said that's one of the first jokes he wrote, isn't it? I said, well, actually, yeah. I had already been doing comedy for maybe 2, 3, 4 years before I started doing Baghdad, but it is one of the first jokes that I wrote, and not only is it that, but I got it out of the mud. Like, that's one of the first jokes that I made brick by brick. Because I used to work at Publix, I was doing free samples, and I was standing there, and I always thought that the city name Baghdad was funny. I'm like, there's a joke in there, and that's before I was doing comedy. I thought that was funny, and that there was a joke somewhere in there forever. Then I was at work. I'm just standing doing free samples all day, and I literally grinded that one out. I said, okay, Baghdad, but anyway, Joe don't like that joke. So whenever I do compete for the World Series, I don't do it. I just don't. All right, he don't like it. I skip that one. Now, I lost my train of thought earlier. I got distracted talking about different set sizes. It's funny how when you start doing stand-up comedy, all your sets are 5 minutes in Orlando, whatever your base city. All your sets are like that standard time, and then you start to get a 7, right? Then you eventually, after a long time, you start working some 15s. But you know what felt like I prestiged was the first time I did 30 minutes for Bonkers. Oh my goodness. After doing 30 minutes, I remember it like it was yesterday. It felt like I had all this time in the world to play these characters and dig in the cheeks on these jokes. Like it made me realize too, some of these characters that I do in my bits, I was able to go in them, and I hadn't realized how in them I was going until I got 30 minutes. I was like, oh. Now I'm used to doing 25, 30, 15s, all that. So doing 5 is tough. I have to go, oh yeah. That's why I got to redesign. I got to go back to the basics. Cause look at this. All right. I did cut that last joke short, maybe by 10 seconds. Right? And I sped through the last part of it, so I think I can say about 10 or 15 seconds. Yeah, it's funny. If I round up and call it 15 seconds that I shaved off that last joke, we're at 3:45. That would put us at 4. That would put us at 4 minutes. I bet adding Baghdad will give us that last bit that I need to take us from 4 into 4:25, 4:30. I could add another bit, but at that point it's risky. Because I don't want to go over. And especially in a competition like this, I really want to hit grab somebody. That's a joke that highlights, that I'm not just funny. It's talent and, my singing on top of all that other stuff. I think it's really going to whack. That's why I like it. The only thing I'm thinking about is I don't know who's judging this competition. Though I doubt it would be people who would take points off because they had heard the jokes before. You have to be careful with that with shows that are not well organized. And y'all let me know if you want me to. I might talk about in a different stream. I might talk about, shows and like well organized shows, because boy, Lord have mercy, I've done some shows where they're not very organized, and you can tell. But my problem is I don't like to talk bad about nobody. So it's like I don't like doing reviews of products I don't like because I feel bad. I'm like, oh, I don't want to make it look like it's trash, you know. And I'm just because I got a few things I want to rant about. I've done some shows where it's their format that isn't good, and I think there's a reason to call it out because that's a format issues you can change. Nobody's telling you to not be yourself with that. That's a format issue. Just change your format, you know. But I also don't want to feel like I also don't want to seem like I'm just, you know, I'm just complaining. However, that's one thing. It's why I love comedy at a craft level. You know, like the complaints that I would do for shows in their specific formats are format issues. I ain't mad I didn't win. It's format issues. You know what I mean? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run this one more again. I want to leave at 30 minutes. That gives me enough time. I'm looking. That gives me enough time to actually eat something and relax. I'm a little tired. My calf's tired. Because I was wondering maybe I could play some games before I go. I could, but again, it's kind of just risky for no reason. Oh, well, actually, hold on. They said our call time is 7. So I have it on my board for me to leave at 6:20, but that's too early. So I'll see. I might play some games just because I feel like it. Here's what we are going to do for now. Josh Graves, nice. Here's what we are going to do. We're going to run this one more time, but this time we're going to add Baghdad. We're going to add Baghdad. It's funny, too. Now, nope, let me stay focused. We're going to add Baghdad. We're going to add Baghdaddy. And we're going to add Baghdaddy. And then we'll see. My speculation is that by adding Baghdaddy, it's going to hit us right where we want to be. 4:30 at the absolute least. 4:25. I don't want to have less than that on stage time. And then also, we're running it a second time right now, so I'm going to try to clean up even more of the pauses. Because what we're running right now is the raw material. Because I want to have an accurate gauge of how much material I have. Then it's going to let us, you know, the vibe and the plan with it happens within like the 30 seconds. That's why I'm doing it like that. That's why I'm aiming for, if it's a 5-minute competition set, write 4 minutes and 30 seconds of material. Because that way I have that room to play these characters up a little bit more. If I'm neck and neck, and you know how much I love neck, but it's we don't have room to play. And that's the secret about comedy is it's all fun. It's all play. You gotta have room for play. Woo! Okay. Let's get in that John. We're gonna run it one more time. Woo! We're going to run it one more again. This time with Baghdaddy. I feel like that's all we're going to need. There was, and here's another thing I thought about too. I did add in the depression. That joke's a little bit of a throwaway, like kind of not a throwaway, but like an add in. I don't have to do that one, but that is important. I did that one and came out to 3:45. So we'll run it again. I'll keep that in there. But if I need to shave a couple seconds, that's the one that'll go. You know, I'll say, man, my ex left me, you know, sometimes people break up with you, but you still grow. And it's cool. I'm running these jokes a lot. I have some extra wording. Me and my lady been together for a long time. Long enough that I've learned some lessons. That first part can go. I can smooth that out. Me and my lady been together long enough. Now, there's a bunch of ways to make that faster. But under this time constraint, it might be too fast. You know, And I remember we worked on this a lot for the finals last year. It's something like going, man, love's taught me a lot. Like, there it is too. Perfect. Love's taught me so much. Love has taught me so much. Like, being in a relationship is just like buying a house. Ooh, I love it. In my brain, even when I did it that first round, I said, this is a lot of stuff being said for no reason. You know? And in a 5-minute set, you gotta trim the fat. You gotta trim the fat. One more again. We're locking it in. Lock it in. There we go. Okay. I should move this a little bit more this way too, since I'm going to be playing more to the kamwa. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your next comedian coming to the stage, Hannibal Callins. What's happening, everybody? I'm Hannibal Callins. I just turned 31. And right now, I am in love. Thank you. I'm surprised, too. Because who's falling in love with Steve Urkel after he joins the Black Panther Party? I'm the only brother right between, did I do that, and the white man did that. Me and my lady been together for a good time, 8 years. Right? That's long enough that I've learned being in a relationship is just like buying a house. If you didn't do it in 2008, it's too late. Because you can't get any good advice these days, man. I had a homie tell me, yo, Hannibal, don't ever date a woman that makes more money than you do. Craziest thing I ever heard from a brother on food stamps. I even had a lady tell me, you should stop wearing your glasses. You look cuter without them. Maybe she don't know how these work. But I need these to see. Like, this is not a fashion statement. This is a disability. And nobody should give out advice like, hey, man, you know you get way more girls if you would just ditch the wheelchair. Yeah. Love's also taught me sometimes people break up with you, but you still grow. If y'all had that, yeah, you hear how quiet everybody else was. My therapist calls that depression. But man, I learned that lesson the hard way too, man. My ex broke up with me and said it's cause I'm the type of man you get married to. Y'all ever lose your job cause you were good at it? Like, I never heard somebody go, hey, yo, McDonald's had to fire me. I had the ice cream machine working every day. Yeah. I'm not perfect, though. I'm not perfect, man. I realize that when I am single, I'm also incredibly petty. Like, after my ex left me, she went out and got a brand new sugar daddy all the way from Iraq. Thanks to him, she had a brand new purse every other week. So I just started calling him her bag daddy. I like that joke because the people who laugh think they're better than the people who didn't. Oh, yeah. And like, now that I am in love, I can't stand love songs anymore, dude. Like, these lyrics are crazy. Bruno Mars got a song where he says, I catch a grenade for you. What? I'm the only man I know too scared to walk himself to the car at night. Like, if you see me walking anywhere past 6:30, you better know I keep a pocket full of peanuts. Because if somebody is going to rob me, I pray to God he has an allergy. Give me all your money, fool. Ah! Catch a grenade. Man, if me and my lady go to the park and someone throws a grenade at us, on the off chance that day I think I'm Serena Williams and I hit it back. Someone with the audacity to bring one grenade to the park probably has the future planning to bring two. And the worst example, Pitbull has a song where the chorus goes, grab somebody sexy, tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. For all we know, we might not get tomorrow. Let's do this tonight. I was like, if I follow your instructions, you just told me to grab somebody sexy and tell them, hey, Give me everything tonight. For all we know, we ain't gonna get tomorrow. Yeah. So let's do this tonight. That sounds like assault to me. And I've never flirted with somebody new and felt like I should grab my peanuts. Ah! Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hannibal Callens. Peace. Okay. All right. That puts us at 422. That time was 422, team. Now this is the thing, right? That's not bad. That's good. That's wiggle room, right? No, I think we can take that. I think that's good. And I also got to give myself credit. I trimmed a lot of the fat on a lot of the performance of these jokes. So, okay, I was a little bit nervous because that's 425, and I was hoping to hit 430, because if I hit 430, I know I'm gold off Raw, bar for bar, band for band. But here's the other thing, too. Because I just have to get past 430 on the timer, right? I just have to get past 430 on the timer. That's it. Because after you get to, some competitions, right? You got to be careful. Well, that's why I said past. You don't want to stop before 430, because really good comics will go, he could have fit a joke in there. Now, granted, you can tell from someone's performance if they've got all the jokes or if they gas out. That's one thing I've learned from the World Series. It's like you can tell when somebody, and that's what they'd be looking for. Do you have more than 5 minutes, or did you pop the trunk on 5 minutes? It's like if you get to 4 minutes and 30 seconds and your next bit is longer than 30 minutes, you call it. You good. I mean, it's longer than 30 seconds. You can call it. You all right, especially if you were strong enough. But that's why ideally I want to have 4 minutes and 30 seconds of raw material, bar for bar, band for band, and then I have 30 seconds of just wiggle room. I said that again, but I know y'all know. I play these characters a little bit more. I let them laugh a little bit more, and I don't have to rush. And I don't know if y'all remember. I can't remember his name. I think his first name was Andrew. He was a dude I saw World Series of Comedy 2025. I'm back competing. I'm in Vegas. I was disappointed with how far I got in Vegas for the first satellite. I thought I was going to get further, and I didn't. I was real disappointed. Yeah, that was last year. Did I do Vegas this year? I can't remember if I did Vegas this year or if I skipped it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This was the first year I didn't do Sarasota. I normally do Sarasota, but Sarasota was right after Myrtle Beach. I couldn't afford to be gone that long. Plus, I got second place in Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach was my favorite satellite so far because it was the one where I learned the most. Atlanta, I got third place, but it was such a bad performance on my end that there wasn't even anything I could gain from it. Because it's like, this isn't even what it's like, so it wasn't even enough of a rubric. Myrtle Beach, I got second, and I did really well, and I didn't even gas out. I ooh-wooed. I ooh-wooed myself. I was so worried about doing 20 minutes that I slowed down on my jokes, and I didn't hit as strong because I was worried in my head about what material am I going to do? Somebody who's headlined wineries before. What am I thinking? I have over an hour of material. What am I doing worried about 20 minutes? That's why I learned for Tacoma, for a 25-minute set, dude, just hitters. Just hit them. Just write more material than necessary. If you've got more material than necessary, write more material than necessary. That way you can hit all of them. For me, I can hit all of them with confidence. I'm not worried about, I hope I don't end up with too little time. You know what I mean? And that's still my problem with headlining, which is why I want to headline more. I know I have an hour. But what happens when I'm booked to do 45 minutes, when I'm booked to do an hour, I get I get nervous. Me get nervous. And then I'm like slowing jokes down. I'm doing this and that. And it's funny too because I know what I'm doing. So I know I'm slowing jokes down to make sure I hit the time mark. Which is why the ultimate guerrilla solution is, if I'm supposed to do an hour, write an hour and 15. Have them yank me off. Like that's what I said with Tacoma. I didn't even do grab somebody at all when I was in Tacoma. That was big for me. That was big. I didn't do grab somebody. I don't even think I did. I'd have to look at my final set, but I don't even think I did I don't think I did grenade either. I think I had so much material, the crowd was eating it up so much, I didn't even get to my closers. Do you realize how good that means? You realize that my material is so good I didn't even get to my closers? My planned closers. My set has several closers, which it should. Wow! Because right off the top of my head, what do I got? Right off the top of my head, closers. My I call the joke Fufu Vision. That's the one I talk about being able to tell someone's from Africa. I got grab somebody, of course. Grenade, of course. My engagement jokes, I got the plan B, of course. That joke I think doesn't hit as often as I want it to. And I think it's because the idea of me poking holes in birth control pills is a little bit weird for a room for anyone in the audience that is a little bit weird about that. And if too many people are a little bit weird about it, it hits weird. But if I do that joke in a room where a bunch of people aren't really, they just laughing, they having a good time, it works. And that's the thing about comedy. It is community. It is community art. So it's like if everybody else is having a good time, it makes it easier for the individual to have a good time too. So everybody's like, woo! And even something that normally wouldn't have worked would work because everybody was down with it. 422 we can take. We can take 422. 422 is not bad. And the other thing about 422 is it's like so right in the, it's like so close to a hole in one that another swing might be too much. We might need to let the ball roll in the hole. Yeah, because I'm thinking, well, do I have other bits I can add? There's only one bit I can think of that I can fit in here, and that's my Rihanna. Rihanna says, "I want you to take it like a thief in the night." I think that's gross. And that's me being too woke, where I feel like I have to acknowledge that is SA talk. You know what I mean? So I go, I don't want to get into how gross that is, but the truth is, skip that. That's not the funny part. I go, Rihanna has a song where she says, "I want you to take it like a thief in the night." Girl, I think we'd all be pissed if we woke up tomorrow like, where's my coochie? I love that. That's a joke I love so much. I love that one so much. Oh, I love that one so much. Where's my coochie? Yeah, and plus coochie is just such a funny word. Coochie does count as a bad word sometimes. But again, one thing y'all gonna know about me, I don't label myself a clean comedian for the only reason being I don't limit myself like that. I'm not trying to limit myself to he don't cuss. Which is why David Jolly said that once before. Yo, man, this comic, he's so funny, man, he don't even cuss. Give it up for him. Like, well, great, now I can't. Now I can't cuss. Maybe I do cuss a little. Yeah, we got that. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to relax. I'm going to eat. I'm pissed I'm already dressed because my body kind of wants to take a nap, but But I'm not going to do that. I do think I'm going to go downstairs, make myself a little something to eat, and just relax. You know, I hope I advance. I'm confident in what I'm bringing to the table. The only things I'm worried about is the fact that, like, I've done these jokes before, did them last year, but that's typically not a problem with a well-structured competition because they're not judging the jokes based off just them and their taste. Or, I've heard that before. They're judging it off of the entire show. Do I think this is top 5 out of the other people that are going to be there? I don't know everybody who's on the lineup, but I think this is top. And this is one of the things too, kind of ask myself, right? What does this, and this is also one of the reasons why that's this is a really good competition set. I can't remember who said this, but it's like, I think you don't really worry about it typically in a 5-minute set, but once you get to a 7-minute set, that's when a comic who's really skilled starts to get to play with some of those next level things like callbacks. If you do a callback, that's one of them things that lets somebody go, oh. Because a callback is funny. A callback is craft. You had to be doing these jokes and paying attention to these jokes and knowing what you had made people listen to bring this back up. That's one of those things that makes somebody be able to tell, oh, this ain't just a regular open micer. This here's a craftsman. Even if you're not a master, you can tell this person is putting in that next level to their material. They're not just cracking jokes. They're not just going up there saying slurs, you know. Yeah, let's see. Okay, YouTube says we got 2 people watching on YouTube. Oh, Dream. Hold on. Go back. I think I saw Dream was in here. Hold on. Y'all didn't tell me Dream was in here. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? Oh, nope, never mind. Dream not in here. Mike Boogie. I'm blaming on the boogie. Da-da, da-da, I'm blaming on the boogie. I'm blaming on the boogie. I'm blaming on the boogie. We had a good time. I'm blaming on the boogie. I'm blaming on the boogie. Can't stand no sponge. Only star here is me. I want to do a video really going into a lot of this more stuff about AI. I found this channel on Instagram. This guy makes these. This dude makes these songs. They're like real jazzy and soul. And the first one I heard was like based off SpongeBob. It was like Squidward singing about how much he hates everybody else. I liked it, but then I was going, this has to be AI. Has to be. And I looked in the comments and they said, yep, it's AI. I went to the dude's page and he said on his bio, he says, I write songs that I have sung with AI. It's okay to hate me. And I'm not going to lie, dude. I had a bunch of, it was really disappointing. Because one of the problems with AI is it makes art, it is making the process of squeezing out content so easy that to a capitalist mind, what is the point of actually being talented and actually making music if you can just make the AI do it? And you know what I thought about, which like was really disappointing to me but AI is making us relinquish the fun part. Like my brother in Christ. Like, you know, singing is fun. Writing music is fun. Having people sing the songs you wrote is fun. That's the fun part. But we've got AI taking over the fun parts of this, right? Like people are just telling AI make me a goth type beat, bro. But making the beats, that's the fun part. AI is literally stripping the ability to achieve that passion that we're chasing through making it create this stuff. Why'd that bother me so bad, man? It's because even the style of song that the dude has that song being sung with, it is a style of singing that is incredibly passionate and soulful, but this song underneath it is devoid of passion. And I was ranting about this to myself. I'm going to try to cut this up so I can just go ahead and post this as a yap about it. But the thing, too, about it, when I thought about it, there's a part of that song that I realized, if we, let's get woke. Let's get way too woke with it, right? Get too enlightened. When you listen to that song, the snippet, it's like 30 seconds max, but there's a snippet in there where he goes, God, this place is ugly. And there's something weird to me about the most passionate part of that song being sung is literally a shout up to God. But this song is not coming from that place. That singing that you're hearing, which is the reason that you're listening to it, is fake. I'm going to get deep here. I think that art in itself is like, in a weird way, it's like, on the one hand, I think that art ends up being synonymous, it ends up being very similar to prayer in what it can be. But think about what it is when you sing a song, right? You're taking the talents that you were both gifted and that you've developed, right, into making something that calls on and connects with the human passion and simply the work in itself. It's one thing I love about art, and one thing I specifically love about comedy is that even though it's not serious, the work that goes into it is. So the actual time that you take to write a real good dick joke is in itself beautiful and disciplined, right? So I think that in itself is like damn near magical, if not magical. If we're not gonna say bar for bar, band for band that it is magical, I think it's so close, right? And so this dude having AI sing the songs, actually, not only does it strip the actual passion from there and take it from me as a comedian, I feel like what makes comedy so special is that the secret sauce of comedy is honesty. See, when you're acting, the whole point is to play another person, right? When you're acting, the whole goal is to play a different person. But when you're doing stand-up comedy, the goal is to play yourself. And how well can you be honest with them on stage? So, with the dude using AI to make these songs, to me is like inherently deceitful, especially because the style of music is something very soulful, but the soul not there. And I understand that you'd be like, man, I don't have that singing voice, or whatever the reasons, whatever the excuses are. Yeah, but it's like doing the work to be able to achieve that is in itself worthy of respect and discipline. So not only is it kind of, in my opinion, not only is it nasty to have AI making music, but to also have AI making soulful music that comes from a place of this dedication and passion of a connect to the Lord, or whatever your higher power is. It connects with us, each other. To have AI rip off music to make soulful songs has an extra layer of nasty to me. it just has an extra layer of nasty. I'll tell y'all, because we're all in here all weekend, and that song is stuck in my head because I want to sing it. You know, I kind of want to see how well I could actually sing that song that he made and put that actual, you know, whatever. Plus, I got this funny idea in my head where it's kind of like, AI is stealing our jobs. Can we start stealing AI's jobs? You know what I mean? How can we start stealing AI's jobs? But AI is a really complicated thing, so, like, and I don't know if I want to commit to the project, which is why I need to get out of my own head and just do stuff. I'm trying to turn my content into me being creatively free, right? But I've watched way too many videos of the downfall of like internet creators and where people mess up and stuff like that. So I think too hard about like all my steps. I think, well, what's this going to look like in 30 years? You know what I mean? Like, I need to just let myself be free. I'm worried about getting put in a box, but the only way to not get put in a box is to constantly do different stuff. So I don't know. I'm thinking I might do that. I would do it tonight, but I'm already kind of tired. Even though I just realized that this fit would get across the Squidward vibe. The colors are opposite, but if I wanted to sing as Squidward, this would work. You know what I mean? But because I got to worry about the competition tonight, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to chill, relax, try to get my body a little bit of a recharge. I also need to start scripting, like my talking points. Because all weekend I was talking to myself about that topic, and I had all these beautiful points ordered out, but I didn't script them. You know, I should have made a note and put them all down. And then when we get in the lab, I could just go down the notes and hit each of them. Because I want to take that rant I just did in post and cut it and clip it. But and here's the other thing too, when I don't do that and I kind of just yap from the hip, it makes it more difficult for me in post. Like, there is a video that I do want to post that I'm probably going to post anyway. I talked about this a week or two ago. I talked about the LARP trend on YouTube, and I was rewatching that part of my stream. I really love it. I really feel like I'm saying something poignant and important. But I can't remember if I said it in that clip, but I came up with the phrase, the LARPademic, and I'm like, damn it, I don't think I said that during my rant, but I want that to be said. So I might even do a video up front, go, hey guys, I talked about this during my stream, and I don't know if I say this. Just to be safe, I'm adding it up front in post that I'm calling this the YouTube LARPademic. Alright, if I do say it later in the video, let me know. You know, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, just to get away with it. Because in my head, my brain goes, well, I guess I better re-yap about that subject. But I also don't want to do that. I don't want to re-yap about that subject. You know, I wish I could have took the clip that I had when I yapped about it and could just post that. The only thing it's missing is that I want to use the phrase LARPademic, and I don't know if I did during the yap. That's also why these are important. You guys might not see it. These are super important to me. These help. My writing streams, my comedy streams, my yap streams, these help. They help me significantly. They help me even just as far as yapping. Yeah, okay. Now it's 5:55. Even that yap right there, I can't remember all the points I had about that dude in this song. The other thing, I think too hard. Because I'm like, I kind of don't want to take that guy. I don't want to bring that guy traffic. You know? Because he's making AI art, which is... And not only is he making AI art, he's making AI art that is special because of the passion that it is imitating. Right? That, to me, adds an extra level of nasty. Is that it's not just that you're making AI music. You're making AI music that is imitating the passion of people singing desperately. You know, if I do my video, I'll stitch his in there so y'all will see what I mean. But when you hear the way this song is sung, you'll go, oh yeah, this is somebody singing desperately, and the desperation is fake. The desperation is plugged into a computer and told to sound that way. It undermines the value of that, right? It undermines the value of what it is, of what it's trying to make you think it is. You know what I mean? Last thing I'll say about that too, just because it's on my head, I'm trying to see if I maybe can put these together. Because I watch videos of people reacting to people talk about AI art, and I don't remember what it was. There was this dude. Oh, this guy he was doing a video talking about how there's people using AI software to make rap songs, and I guess some big rap song right now turned out to be AI. And people come up with these whack ass excuses. Oh, well, I write the words, but I have AI kind of like auto-tune. Let me say this real quick. You know what the difference between Fruity Loops and AI generated music is? If you don't know how to make music, you can't do a damn thing with Fruity Loops. My dad used to have a tweaker who he would take his computers to, and when we got the computer back, we had Fruity Loops on it. That dude had done that with our computers 2-3 times, right? And when our Fruity Loops stopped working, our dad would take the laptop. My dad would take our laptop to the trap house. He'd come back. We got Fruity Loops. I, to this day, can't do nothing with it. I can't do anything with Fruity Loops. I go to a homeboy's house who is a professional producer. Me, him, and another dude, we shucking and jiving, and he goes, ha 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 ha. And we sit there and watch him make a beat from scratch. We sit there and watch him build a beat. One of my best friends from college is a professional producer. I've sat there with him and watched him build a beat with this computer program I don't understand. The cool thing, and this is what separates AI art from the tools they try to make you think it's the same as. A tool cannot do the job for you, and the quality of the work you do is a reflection of your dedication, your discipline, and your creativity, right? Fruity Loops can't make a song for you. If you don't know how to make music, you're not getting none out of Fruity Loops. And even if you do know how to make music, if you're going to know how to make music on Fruity Loops, you are going to have to do the discipline of sitting down in front of Fruity Loops and learning it in order to create with it. Making AI music is not the same because you tell the computer what to do and the computer does it, right? It doesn't in any way actually reflect your creativity and your ability. That's what makes tools magical. The tool helps you bring this out here. I don't want to say that. I might just try to cut that part, and I don't even know the point I'm trying to land on, but it's that. It's that, like, the difference between AI generating songs and using technology to improve your music is that you can't do anything unless you understand the tool, right? You'll sit in Fruity Loops. You'll sit in front of Fruity Loops for years and get nothing. You'll get nothing until you go in it, until you start to ask, what do these things do, and you learn it, and then until you start building. AI generated music is literally just telling the computer what you wanted to make. So, anyway, guys, we're going to call it here because I'm going to eat and then I'm going to get ready to bounce. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Like, follow. I just made some new t-shirts. I got some new t-shirt ideas coming too. So keep an eye out on my stuff. We'll talk about Shelter Cove another time. I just wanted to focus on the competition I'm doing tonight. And I might have some big news for you guys. So come back in. Check up with me later. End of this week. Alright? Or next week. Don't worry about that. Holler at me next week. I might have some big news for y'all. As far as what's going to be next for me. So I'm super thankful to have each and every one of you guys hop into these streams, even if you don't, all right? Because just by having the space to do this, you guys are helping me out more than you know. So, love you guys. Peace. There we go, more in the middle. Now I like this. Yeah. A little bit more angle. There we go.